Senator Padilla. Next up, Senator Ossoff.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I'm happy to yield to and follow Senator Butler, who I think has been here for a while and may have an upcoming obligation.
That's correct. So, Senator Butler, thank you, Senator Ossoff.
Oh, the generosity of my colleagues. Thank you, Senator Ossoff. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Director Clements, for your time in service at the COPS office, and I think informed by your time in service in the uniform. And I think it is important that in these hearings and at every opportunity we recognize the service and sacrifice, commitment of our law enforcement officers, and we do everything that we can to support them and to make sure that they are working with the community to get to the level of public safety that we all deserve. I guess what I appreciated about your remarks were how you described the three-legged stool. There's the grants, and there's been a lot of conversation about the grants. There's the research and technical assistance, and then the publications. I wanted to apply my sort of line of questioning maybe across all three. Because ultimately, just to not bury the lead, I want to try to understand what it is as a new member of this committee. How it is that I and this committee can actually help to ensure that you have the tools that you need to get to the kind of analysis and true support that I think those 18,000 agencies across the country really need from you. And so let me just just a topical question. It's like, do you have the capacity? You said that when there are applications that are submitted, there's got to be a comprehensive, innovative plan that is a part of those application and grant processes. Are there requirements in the application process for post-action reporting?
So yes, there is. And again, so there's ongoing review, but post-action as well.
And then do you think that you have in your agencies the tools, programs, staff, to make sure that there is timely, being the operative point, timely analysis of the hundreds, if not thousands, of grants that you and your agency award on a given year, the analysis of the training and technical assistance, the overall impact? Do you have in your department the resources to do that timely analysis and then therefore timely communication about those best practices that are happening across the country?
So yes, for the most part, by the requirements mandated by Congress, which is to monitor at an enhanced level the 10%. In a very deep dive into what we're realizing as an agency in the field. So, we have that quarterly, semi-annual progress report, the routine monitoring as the course of the grant moves on, and then, as mandated by Congress, that 10%, which we exceed. And we did $139.2 million last year, which was more than the $1.34 billion, more than the 10% that we had in the field.
So I'm asking the question less about like the dollars and cents kind of question, but more outcomes impact kind of question. If you have 600 agencies, I think was a roundabout number that were awarded last year, and 200 of them were funded through up to focus on community intervention teams. Do you have the resources to say, okay, of those 200 grants that were awarded focused on community intervention teams, here were the themed bucket lessons that were learned. Here was the best practices. Here's what worked. Here were the outcomes that were focused. We were able to hire 200 more women. We were able to enhance language capability of X number of communities. Do you have the ability to in your office, understand in a timely way and in a relevant way for those agencies that are depending on these kinds of services and grants to actually communicate how best they can achieve those similar outcomes of those agencies. Just sort of a little bit of testing, modeling, analysis, and I assume that is the purpose of the kinds of research and publications that you want to offer.
So I appreciate the question, and I don't want to dodge the answer. So I want to give you a real answer that, look, we get a review at the tail end, and it depends on the specific metrics that would be looked for from the field. So we do that to the mandate of Congress, that 10%. But as far as a deep dive in that one particular event, we gave out 1,100 grants last year. On all 1,100, no, only the 10%.
I appreciate you not dodging my question and being direct in the response. Again, I really want to make sure that we have the resources, your team have the resources to really support the outcomes that our officers on the ground are truly putting their lives on the line to achieve. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think in the selection of the words that you offered back to me, there might be more room for Congress to ask for more accountability and to equip you with the tools to actually be able to share more of the learnings across the agencies through all of the legs of the stool that we as Congress have asked you to support those agencies. And so I hear that as a takeaway. I appreciate you for engaging in the conversation and again for your service and commitment to the officers across the country. Thank you, Madam Chair.